Honghai is really serious on ESG. So we established a CSR committee under the board of directors and led by the chairman, Liu. So we definitely have a somewhat dedicated staff just focusing on the ESG task. Honghai also the largest electronics manufacturing service company in the world, and we consume a lot of electricity and also components per year. So how to reduce the carbon emission from the use of power and the use of material is a top priority for operation and also our ESG target. I think we have two main agenda for the environment. One is we want to reach carbon neutral. The other one is a circular economy. For the first one, for the carbon neutral, I think we had the long-term target. Honghai echoes Paris Agreement and the CA 100 plus. So our goal is to reach zero carbon emission by 2050. So this is a very challenging target for Honghai Fastcom. And the short-term target for the carbon neutral is like we also try to keep the temperature increase under 1.5 Celsius. So we also echo the science-based target initiative. So right now we are hiring the third-party consultant agent, Carbon Trust, to evaluate our exact carbon emission volume by end of this year. So we are able to lay out our short-term target or mid-term target and submit to the SBTi by second quarter next year. And hopefully we should get approval from the organization in 2023. So that will be for the first agenda, carbon neutral. For the second one, the circular economy, our long-term target is to reach a zero waste site. And to achieve that, for the short term, I think we also try to cooperate with our key customers because they have a so-called zero landfill policy. So that means every material or components need to be recycled or reused. So I think for Honghai, we have two major material. One is plastic, the other one is metal. So I think right now we are doing this kind of closed loop circular economy, and we try to reach at least 60%, for example, for plastic reuse by 2025. And that's only for one of the examples. So zero landfill policy and to reach a 100% recycling rate is our mid to long-term target for circular economy for those components or material we use. Yes. Honghai has more than 100 campuses and located at more than 20 countries. So totally we consume 8 billion kilowatts electricity per year. That is a huge numbers. So to reach the carbon emission by 2050, actually Honghai faces that quite severe challenges ahead. But I think we have some approaches to reach this kind of target. One is to improve our operating efficiency for the equipments. The other one is to increase the usage and sources for the green energy. And this is the main topic here. So our target for the green energy usage will be by 2030, Honghai is going to use 50% of the power by green energy. To achieve that, right now we already doing a lot in the building up our internal solar power station or invest in some green energy generating station. For example, right now we have almost used all the rooftop on our factories and to generate the solar power. In addition to that, we also invest more than 18 green energy stations. And right now, until the 2020, those green energy stations can generate about 1 billion kilowatts power. And that roughly representing 12.5% of the total power usage of Honghai. So that is the current status. And again, we try to achieve 2030 50% green energy usage and 2050 zero carbon emission. So we still will keep investing in those the green energy solutions. I think right now the challenge is that the easiest way to generate the green energy is almost finished. For example, the rooftop solar or some land to build up the green energy station is already done. The next step will be the land availability is become more and more difficult in some area, and definitely not every location is suitable for like the wind power or solar power. So that kind of suitable areas getting less and less. So that will become a challenge. And the other challenge will be like this also the related to the government policy. So some government, they try to promote green energy. So the cost or the benefit from this kind of investment actually is different. So that will become the next challenge. The third challenge will be the CapEx needed. Even though actually green energy is a profitable business, so there's a lot of company actually that invest in green energy, but the payback period actually is quite long. That therefore the contract between the energy company and the power company roughly about at least 20 years. So that means that the payback period is really too long, and that means that will occupy your capital. So that would be the challenge ahead. Maybe the real challenge for Honghai, because Honghai is quite cash rich. But I think in overall, this is a challenge for all the sectors players going forward. And so I think that moving ahead from 20.5% green energy usage to 50% in 2030, I think that we will do a few approaches. The first one, we will keep investment in some solar or wind power companies to secure this kind of green energy. The other one, we may team up with maybe customers or some professional companies to have some green energy fund. And we'll use the professional team engaging with this kind of investments, looking for the best solutions or the best power generation firm. And definitely that would be also the financial return project. So that would be our target and approaches we're going to take going forward. Honghai right now purchase around 55 billion US dollars chips per year. It's one of the largest user in the world. So Honghai is also moving one of our key business area to semiconductor. So far we already have some design houses, and we also have our own foundry and our own packaging facilities. But if we compare with the current silicon-based semiconductor with the third generation semiconductor products, I think there are two benefits. One is about the power loss rate. The silicon carbide products can improve the power loss rate by 40% at least. And the second benefit will be given the less power loss rate, that means that the heat generated from the power usage will getting less. From our calculation is at least reduced by 55%. And that means the cooling systems or the power usage to cool down the heat, the material, the cooling material, including metal, etc., will also reduce a lot. So because of these two benefits, I think if we look at moving into our EV strategy, the silicon carbide becomes more important or critical because EV is a mobility devices. So the power consumption and the weight is very crucial to the performance of the EV car. So Hon Hai also tried to move our silicon-based semiconductor to the silicon carbide going forward. In August this year, we just purchased a 6-inch fab. And this is, we are going to transform this fab to silicon carbide gradually. So we target to have our silicon carbide products ready for production in the second half 2023. So by that time, we should have 15,000 wafers per month for the silicon carbide. And each wafer can fulfill 8 to 6 EV car demand. So this is our first step for this kind of silicon carbide products. At the same time, the other third generation semiconductor is gallium nitride. And we also working on the gallium nitride semiconductor. Right now it's under the development by the Hon Hai Research Institute. And so we also expect to, in a short period of time, we are going to release our gallium nitride technology and products. I think EV is one of the environmental topic. We also find some business opportunity from this the EV topic. So given EVs become more simple compared with the traditional the engine car, reduce more than 40% components for EV. And more towards the ICT devices. So Hon Hai has a lot of advantage here in the EV solutions. So right now we like just full speed in expanding our technology, our customer base, and our capacity worldwide for our EV new business. We expect that the EV market to hit 20 million cars in 2025. And that roughly represent about $600 billion US market size. We targeted 5% market share at that time. It means that about $30 billion US in 2025. In the long run, I think that to double the revenue is not the big concern for Hon Hai. So I think this is the some numbers of market target by Hon Hai. And if we look at the carbon emission, definitely if you compare the traditional car with EV car, EV car also save roughly about 60% carbon emission. So this is also the very big benefit for making the EV cars. And we are going to discuss with the customers about this kind of a benefit for the carbon reduction. So that would be the first comment on the EV. And we also recently teamed up with like a Lordstown brand. And this is also very interesting partners because Lordstown focus on the pickup, which is a very popular model in United States. And actually, Lordstown target to launch the product in the second half next year. And I think the target at the commercial fleet. So it's we see more commercial demand for EV. I mean the greater demand compared with the general consumer demand, because we look at the commercial side, because of the carbon emission, because less maintenance expenses. And also that you look at those batteries, when they've been replaced, you can reuse the battery for the power storage. And that would be another new business. So we see like for the commercial, the customers, they are more keen to replace their current fleet by the EV models. And that also one of our focus recently. I mean, in addition to Lordstown, we teamed up with the PTT, the gas station in Thailand. And this company has more than 3,000 gas stations right now in Thailand. And they also have a EV charging system. So they also leverage the advantage here for the leasing, the EV leasing business. So I think right now we team up with PTT. We believe that maybe the first adoption will be for this kind of commercial models. I think Honghai has more than 1 million staff. I think maybe one of the largest employees company in the world. And over those more than 100 different campuses. So how to manage or how to treat our employees, always a very big challenge for Honghai. I think back to the 2005 to 2010, there's a lot of incidents happened in Honghai. I think that after then, Honghai made a lot of decision, gradually try to improve the working condition, the workers' rights, safety, and health. So I think right now, also by the help of our key customers, I think Honghai is already quite good at those areas. But I want to highlight some special point, like in addition to those basic, hiding or the equality principle. Honghai also set up like with so-called FastCon University. I mean, for the employees to train themselves, and we also have a quite big platform for different products, different business units. So I think we offer our employees a lot of opportunity to grow themselves, and we also try to do something for the society. So we want to improve the birth rate. I mean, like in Taiwan, we encourage our staff to have more babies. So if they have one more baby, the company will compensate them for the babies between when they've been delivered to 6 years old. So we so-called it's like the Honghai babies. It's been served by Honghai companies for the almost 7 years tenure, and that would be related to the employees. Benefit, and I think we'll try to gradually improve our employees benefit through the different method. Our chairman will hold a quarterly seminar with the employees directly. So we have talked to the different level staff, employees by the chairman, and if there's any recommendation, and we will definitely improve immediately. And the company also have the Honghai apps. So every Honghai employees will download the app, and they can claim anything through this kind of app directly to the headquarters. So we'll keep improving ourselves. And the Honghai's labor union, we also do the labor audit. We call it the labor protection audit every year. So if they find anything that we need to improve, again, we'll do it immediately. I think the recent recognition for those kind of effort we made, the first one, again, every year, our key customers will send out the third-party team or the audit team to audit all the workers' rights, workers' safety, workers' health, and all those education and environmental issue. I think Honghai always get very high score on that. The second one of our main campus also received the Choice One Star recognition from RBA. This is a very important organization in the electronics sector. This, award is trying to recognize for the factories for improving the working and the living condition, and also have a very transparent communication channels with the employees. So I think that's a very big improvement for Honghai. And I think the last recognition is recently the Forbes World Best Employers 2021. Honghai is among the list, and Honghai is the first one among all the Taiwanese companies in that list. So I think if you compare with 10 years ago, Honghai already made a lot of progress in terms of the workers' rights, the environmental, etc. So I will keep improving that. But I think this company it's been done a lot, and should be something to share with everyone.